At the beginning of the series we are shown a woman whose name is Moran, who was an Aes Sedai. Aes Sedai were those people who had a special power. Moran tells that many years ago a male Aes Sedai captured a devil who had dark powers by using his power. That Aes Sedai's name was Dragon, after which all the Aes Sedai men lost their powers. Moran finds out that the devil who had dark powers has come back to life and wants to come back as a threat to the world. Not only that, Moran also finds out that Dragon has been born again in this world, that is rebirth in this world, his second birth. Now all the Aes Sedai had to find him again because they knew that he is the only Aes Sedai man who can save everyone by controlling that devil. Now Moran decides to find the dragon with her guards. There were 7 groups of Aes Sedai. All the Aes Sedai lived with the soldiers. They had a special connection with them, that is the effect on Aes Sedai was the same effect on their soldiers. Moran found out that there are 4 people in a village, one of whom can be a dragon. That's why she goes to that village with her soldiers. After this, we are shown the scene of the same village. There were some women taking the test of a girl named Egwene. All these women were not Aes Sedai, but they used to help people at the same time. The leader of these women asked Egwene to join her team because she had passed the test, so in this joy her friends give her a party in a bar. Moran had also reached there. After the party, Egwene meets a friend alone whose name was Ryan. Ryan liked Egwene and wanted to marry her, but when he finds out that Egwene wants to be the leader of those women soldiers, he gets angry with her because he knew that a leader can never get married or have children. She will have to spend her whole life protecting people. Later, it is shown that Moran goes to a girl who was not from this village, whose name was Nyanavi. Nyanavi hated all the Aes Sedai. That's why she doesn't answer Moirain's question properly. Here Moirain's soldier tells her that the devil's army can come to attack this village because he knows that the dragon has been born again with a new form. That's why we have to do something soon. Before they could do anything, the devil's army attacks the village at night. His army looked like half humans and half animals. In this attack, everyone competes with them. Ryan's friend goes so crazy that he accidentally kills his own wife. Here Moran uses all her powers. She injured all the devil's army. The devil's army took Nyanavi with them. After they left, Moran, Ryan and Egwene tell their friends that one of the 4 male dragons is Aes Sedai, who had previously captured the devil. Now the devil has learned about the devil's return to the world. That's why he got his army to attack here. If you want to protect your village, you have to come with me to the city of White Tower. Now the 4 did not want to harm their village. That's why they get ready to go with Moran. Then we see some people who used to live in camps in the jungle. All of them were wearing white clothes. That's why they were called the White Army. These Aes Sedai consider women so bad who could use their powers. They were burning and killing an Aes Sedai girl there. A man from the White Army takes off her ring and keeps it with him. On the other hand, the devil's army in the village is behind Moran and everyone else. That's why Moran now decides to cross the river and go. She wakes up a boatman there who is sleeping and goes to the other side of the river, and now the devil's army could not reach her. That's why she drowns the boatman with his boat in the water and kills him. Now, after everyone has gone to sleep, Moran tells Egwene separately that if she can hear the sound of the wind, she can also become an Aes Sedai, and that's when Egwene was able to feel those powers inside her. On the other hand, we see that when Ryan was sleeping, he feels something strange in his mouth. When he wakes up and puts his hand in his mouth, he finds a dead bat. After that, he sees a man with red eyes in front of him, but after a while he found out that it was just his nightmare. When he goes and tells his friends about this dream, they are surprised. The surprise was that they all had the same dream. There were dead bats in front of them. Ryan felt that Moran was doing all this with them, but his friends refused him and stopped him because they knew that she was the only one who could save those 4. After this, when they move on in their journey, Moirain's soldier tells them that in the future they'll face a White Army who were enemies of Aes Sedai women and used to burn them to death. That's why before reaching there, Moran takes off her Aes Sedai ring and gives it to her soldier to hide it. When they went a little further, the White Army stopped them, but Moran tells them that I am just going to meet my sisters. To some extent, she had removed their suspicion and showed her wound that the devil's army had given her. That's why the White Army let them go a little further on. Moiraine's condition was deteriorating due to that wound, but she could not treat herself, that's why she needed another Aes Sedai. When they go ahead, they stop at one place at night and go to sleep, then a wind sees that the Devil's army had even followed them. That's why Moiraine's soldier, despite Moiraine's many refusals, takes them to a city where all the people there had died due to an accident. After that, the city was deserted and some strange powers took over there. Even the Devil's army did not want to come inside the city, it was so dangerous here. Moiraine's soldier had taken everyone to save their lives, that's why he forbids everyone that no one will touch anything here. But Ryan's friend picks up a knife there. At that time a black shadow had come there. Tay had now succeeded in escaping that black shadow, but now they have separated. In one group was Moiraine and her soldier, and Egwene was with one of her friends while Ryan was with his other friend. When Moiraine's soldier was treating her in the jungle, then someone puts a sword on his neck from behind, who was none other than Nyanaeve, who had come here to find her friends escaping the Devil's army. Her friends were Ryan and Egwene. Here Moiraine's soldier tells her that if you want to find your friends, you've to save Moiraine's life, because I know that you also have the power of Aes Sedai. But Nyanaeve refuses to help him on this point. Moiraine's soldier catches her, hits something on her head and makes her unconscious. When Nyanaeve comes to her senses, she now takes a promise from Moiraine's soldier that if he saves Moiraine's life, then in return he will have to answer all her questions. Her soldier agrees to this point. In the next scene we see Egwene with her friend. Egwene's friend has a dream who accidentally killed his wife. He sees that a wolf is eating his wife's corpse, but when he comes to his senses there were really wolves behind them. But when he came to a place there was no one behind him. It seemed as if those wolves wanted to show them a way. On the other hand, Ryan takes his friend to a city where Amon's corpse was hanged. First they became afraid a lot. When they go to a bar, a man steals money from Ryan's friend's pocket. Now that they didn't even have money, they decided to work in the bar and stay there in the jungle. We see Nyanaeve again, who could not treat Moiraine. Her soldier also understood this, so he leaves Nyanaeve with Moiraine and goes to find an Aes Sedai himself there. Egwene and her friend find a tribe that gives them a place to live and treats them very well. Moiraine's soldier also got help in the jungle, but they had to go a little far. Ryan and his friend who were in the bar, the owner of the bar was trying to flirt with Ryan when Ryan did not accompany her. Now that woman has shown her reality. Actually she was from the army of the devil. Meanwhile the musician whom they met in the bar comes and saves them from this woman and tells them to come with him because he saved their lives. Both of them were ready to go with him in the jungle. Moiraine's soldier brings her to a red Aes Sedai and tells Moiraine that we have caught the dragon. Those Aes Sedai women had imprisoned a man in a big cage, but soon they find out the truth that he was not the real dragon. Aes Sedai. Moiraine's wound had also healed. The musician tells Ryan that your friend who had picked up the knife in the city of the evil powers is now in control of his evil powers. That's why you have to take care of yourself. When Ryan goes to sleep at night, he again has a dream in which he had seen the same man with red eyes again. But when his eyes open the house where he was living there, he sees that someone had killed all the family members. His eyes fall on his friend who had the same knife. Now Ryan and the musician felt that everyone was killed by his friend. But there they see the evil army. The musician and Ryan compete with them, and from there Ryan runs away with his friend. On the other side at the camp of Aes Sedai, the prisoner had also freed himself. Then Moiraine comes to him. She also calls her two other companions. Three of them wants to imprison him by using their power. The man had more power than the three powers. Then he kills an Aes Sedai man. Then Nyanaeve comes there, who uses her power from which a bright light was born there, and she defeats that man in the competition. Now the red Aes Sedai was also cured there. Before that man could harm anyone else, she takes out all his powers from him, from which he had now become a common man. After this they take that man to the White Tower. After a long journey they reached there. Ryan is shown who with his friend reached the White Tower through the path of the musician, but because of those dark powers his friend's condition was also very bad because the effects of the powers and that knife. were affecting his friend. On the other side, Egwene with the people of the tribe were about to reach the White Tower where their way is stopped by the White Army. The White Army had recognized Egwene and her friend because they had seen them with Moran before. That's why they wanted to catch them. Both the tribe people also fight them, but still they catch Egwene and her friend. They brought them to the camp with them where the leader of the White Army tells Egwene that I know that you've a special power if you don't show me your power before night, then I will kill your friend. But she can't do that, so now he starts killing her friend. Then some wolves came there. Egwene takes advantage of them. Egwene also had the power now. The surprising thing was all the wolves were leaving both of them and attacking everyone. It seems as if Egwene's friend can control these wolves. He also has a special power. Both of them now injure the White Army leader and take all the rings of the Aes Sedai from him and leave there. Ryan is shown who was in a library. He meets a man there who was half human and half creature with whom Ryan had become good friends there. All the Aes Sedai took the man who used to call himself a dragon and now became a normal human. Everyone was moving towards the White Tower with him. Seeing his condition, Ryan's friend tells him that if any of us turns out to be a dragon, then we will not let him be like this man. After this, we are shown a scene from the past. A little girl who was with her dad in the boat. She uses her one-sided power there in a very grand way, but when she reaches home with her dad where she finds out that the villagers burned down their house, seeing the strength of this girl, they felt that she was a witch, so to save her life her dad had driven her away from here. While leaving crying, she promises her dad that shall definitely make her name known in this world one day. The scene comes again in the present. We see that girl was no one else but Aes Sedai's leader. She was the most powerful. She has proven herself. The same man is now presented in front of her whom Aes Sedai brought after imprisonment, who used to call himself a dragon. But here the leader tells all Aes Sedai that I told you that you will bring this man to me with his powers, but you didn't do that. You will be punished for it, and tells Moran that you should soon find the real dragon, otherwise you'll be kicked off from the White Tower. And Moran also knows that she has very little time. That's why her soldiers have found out Ryan reaching there. Moran treats Ryan's friend first of all. She takes out all the dark powers from him and imprisons them in the same knife. Then she goes to Egwene and her friend where they tell her about the incident that happened to them, and she returns all the rings of Aes Sedai to her that she stole from the White Army house. Now Moran found all four friends, so she goes to her leader and tells her that it is possible that all four of them are dragons or Nyanavi, who also has different powers. She couldn't understand which one would be the real dragon, so the leader tells Moran to go to the Eye of the World. This was the place where the dragon had imprisoned the evil and its dark powers. She says you will have to take everyone there and have to fight with the black powers. If there is a real dragon, he will survive and the rest of the people will die. Now Moran, to take them to the world of dark powers, had brought them all to the door of a portal. A friend of Ryan's refuses to go with them, so she takes the rest and goes to that portal. From here we are shown the scene of the past where a woman who was going to be a mother was very bravely killing all her enemies while she was about to give birth to a child. An enemy pointed a sword at her. The story comes back to the present where Moran was moving towards the Eye of the World, so a dark power attacks them here. Egwene uses her power, but the half-human and half-creature forbade them to do so. He knew that if any of the Aes Sedai used their power here, there could be a big problem for them. That's why a lot of dark powers are attacking them now, but Nyanavi uses her powers to save them, and Moran quickly brought them out of the other door. Now she takes them to a girl named Origal who can see the future and the human and tell who that person is, but when they go there they find out that she didn't know about it either. While sleeping, Ryan has strange dreams. He hears his dad talking strangely. Later he goes to the girl who can tell the future. She tells him that he is the real dragon and he is not the real son of her dad. His dad brought him back from a war. Here we find out that Moran was the son of the same woman who was bravely fighting her enemies, and as soon as Ryan was born, the soldier who pointed her with a sword brought her to the village with him, which we had seen in the past. After knowing everything, Ryan goes to Moran. Now he wanted to go to the Eye of the World alone with her. so that no friend of his could be harmed here. It is shown to us again in the past when the old dragon did not listen to the leader and imprisoned the devil along with his men's army, due to which their beautiful city was also deserted, and now passing through the same deserted city they were going to the eye of the world here. When Ryan and Moran get tired and rest, Ryan once again dreams here, in which he sees the same man with red eyes, and here we find out that he was the devil, and because Ryan is the real dragon who was born again, that's why he was seeing him again and again. Ryan sees Moran dying in his dream. The black powers were bringing Ryan into their talks. Before that, Ryan comes into their talks, he injures himself and brings him out of the dream. Here the devil was trying to mislead him again and again. He also sees his future here, where he was with Egwene and he has married Egwene in his future, but he was not able to understand here how the devil had imprisoned the dark force. Then he sees a very big circle there. He sits on that circle and uses his powers, and again he imprisons the devil there. The devil army also attacks all the Aes Sedai there. All the Aes Sedai meet and fight them, including Nyanaeve and Egwene, now with the use of more power. Their body was burning from inside. Seeing this, Nyanaeve separates Egwene and saves her by sacrificing her life. Ryan uses his one-sided power because he had imprisoned the dark forces, because of which he was feeling mad, and now he is leaving from there. Before leaving, he tells Moran to tell his friends that he was killed in this war. While crying, Egwene uses her power, cures Nyanaeve, and brings her back to life. In the last scene, we see the Aes Sedai One Power army going in the ship through the sea, which had brought a storm in the sea with the use of their power. And with this suspense, this season ends here.